Hey there, tech fans. Today I'd like to show you the brand new Orei BK-301 3 input, 1 output, 8K HDMI switch. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to connect 3 ultra-high definition media devices, like a game console or a computer or even a streaming media player, to a single ultra-high definition monitor at the same time, while providing complete control over which of those media streams is being displayed on that monitor at any given time by simply tapping a button on the top of the switch or by using the included infrared remote control. The product fully supports 8K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.1 as well as HDCP 2.3 compliant, which means it's plug and play compatible with a wide range of modern media gear. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the product. And then I'll take a closer look at the product itself and I'll explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use it. I'll also do a quick demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. And then I'll come back one more time and point out some of the special features that this product provides that you can use to compare it to other 3x1 switches you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. Well, there's not a lot inside, so when you first pop open the box, you'll find the BK-301. You'll also find an infrared remote control, and this is really nice because if you set this up on your desk, you can reach the switch and you can change the input to the output. But if you set it up on your media center, having a remote control like this means you can settle back into the comfort of your couch and make that selection from quite a distance away. You'll also find a full instruction manual included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and a whole lot of other good information about the product that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the product, I'll do that quick demonstration, and then I'll come back again and point out some of the special features. The product features a full metal enclosure which makes it incredibly durable. On the top surface, you'll find a select button right there. You can tap that to move between the 3 inputs for display in your monitor. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, is an infrared receiver window, and that's where the signals from the remote control are picked up. So when you set this up on your media center or your desktop, make sure that window is visible if you're using the remote control. To the right of that are 3 more LEDs, labeled 1, 2, and 3. These indicate which of the inputs is currently being displayed on the monitor. And again, you can tap the button on top to move through these, or using the remote control, you can go directly to one of the 3 inputs. On the side of the unit, you'll find a full-sized HDMI port labeled input number 1. This connects to one of the media devices you'd like to display in that shared monitor. And on the rear of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find another full-sized HDMI port labeled output. This connects to the display monitor you'd like to use for displaying the content from your media devices. There are 2 more inputs on the rear, input 2 and input number 3, again full-sized HDMI ports. You can connect these to 2 other devices that you'd like to share across that monitor. Always use a high-quality cable to make all these connections to ensure the best possible picture, because this unit supports 8K content at up to 60 frames per second and 4K content up to 120 frames per second, and you'll need a high-quality cable to ensure that resolution is seen on your monitor. That's pretty much it for the unit. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up 3 small media players. 2 of them are displaying different images just to make it easy to tell them apart. And the third one is actually looping a video because I wanted to show you that you can easily mix and match a wide variety of different media file types on the switch at the same time. And this is the media content that I'd like to switch between for display on my monitor. Over here, I've set up a high-resolution display as my output device, and this is where I'd like to enjoy the content from those media devices. In front of me, I have the BK-301. Now, the first connection I'll make is from the monitor directly to the switch. I've already connected a high-speed HDMI cable up to the monitor. The other end of that plugs into the HDMI output port on the back of the switch. And now I'm ready to connect up my media devices. I have 3 more high-speed HDMI cables connected up to them, and I'll plug those into input number 3, input number 2, and finally input number 1 in the switch. And the minute I make all these connections, you'll notice the LED in the front came on, and that's because the power required for the switch is sent over those HDMI cables. You don't need an external power supply. And there you go, we're looking at input number 1. Now if I'd like to switch to the next input, I just tap the select button on the top. It'll take a second to make the adjustment for the resolution of the media device in the monitor, and there's input number 2. Now let's go to input number 3. I'll tap it again. This should be the video. It will be the video. There we go. Now, you also have the option of using the remote control. If this is set up on your desk, you can easily reach that button and just tap it. But if you set it up on your media center, you'll need to have some way to make those changes from quite a distance away from the unit, and you can use the remote to do that. The other benefit of the remote is that it allows you to jump directly to an input. Here you have to go through them sequentially by tapping the button, but with the remote, you can actually decide which input you want directly. So let's say we want to go back to input number 2. I'll just tap that. It actually backs up to input number 2. So it gives you flexibility in the distance away from the unit where you can make your selection, as well as directly going to an input. So you can use either of these on your desk, but I like the fact that the infrared remote is included because it gives me that flexibility. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope that closer look and demonstration were helpful. Now here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei BK-301 with other 3x1 HDMI switches you may be considering. The first thing, and probably most important thing, is the fact that this product fully supports 8K ultra high definition media content at up to 60 frames per second. It can also support 4K content at up to 120 frames per second, which means it's going to work great with all of your modern media equipment. And even if you're only viewing 4K content today, knowing you've got a switch that can handle the higher resolution at the higher frame rate means if you upgrade your equipment later on, you can still use the product. Another important difference is the level of certification. This product is both HDMI 2.1 and HDCP 2.3 certified. And the reason those standards are important are because the HDMI standard has gone through a lot of changes in recent years. There have been a lot of new features introduced. So knowing you're on one of the latest versions of HDMI for 8K content means you can immediately take advantage of all those features. And the HDCP certification is equally important because that controls copy protection. So again, knowing you're on the latest version of HDCP for 8K content means you can play a wider variety of files through the switch. Another benefit is the included infrared remote control. A lot of switches on the market have a button on the top you can use to select the input, but having a remote control means if you use it on your desk, you can certainly hit the button, but if you're setting it up on your media center, you're going to be quite a distance away from the switch, and having a remote control that allows you to make your selections from the comfort of your chair or your couch is a big benefit. One final point that may be a small point, but to me it's a big deal, is it doesn't require any external power. A lot of HDMI switches on the market require a connection to a power supply that has to be plugged into the wall, or they have a USB connection on it, which means you've got to supply power to operate the switch. With this one, all the power required for operation comes from the HDMI cables that are plugged in. So it's incredibly easy to use. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit. And again, with a few simple connections, you can be up and running. So if you're in the market for an HDMI switch that you'd like to use with your game console, your computer, or any other media device with an HDMI output, this might be a good one to consider. So hopefully you found this review helpful. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy.